Black Alpha Network, home of black excellence.
Hello, black world. Beautiful black people. How y'all living? Hey, I hope everything's going good on your side. I hope you in a strong space. Hope your mind, your thoughts, and your energies are to the maximum. Hope all of your loved ones is good. I hope you good. Because if you good, then I'm good, then we good. And then the whole team is strong. You feel me? So let's keep on doing what the fuck we gotta do. Hey, the world keeps spinning and the world keep turning and we keep riding. That's the one consistency. As much as this motherfucker keep on pushing, it's the same as we gonna keep on pushing. Because it's in our DNA, it's how the fuck we built, and they gonna have to deal with it one way or another. Yes, indeed. But yo, I send a shout out to all my people, man. Shout out to the whole black world from the Black Alpha Network. I appreciate it. Hey, and shout out to all my people listening in prison. Because I got a couple people out there listening in prison, man. Y'all stay good, keep your head high, and bring it on back home, man, and make the team stronger. Yes, indeed. But yo, we're going to get to it today. We're going to break it down today. We're going to talk about this judicial system. We're going to talk about the judge, the jury, and the supremacist, the jury, and the judge. We're going to run all the motherfuckers down, and we're going to take them to school, and we're going to do it Black Alpha style. So if you're listening, turn it up, pull up, and let's ride. Because all my race regulators, mount up. Let's get it. All right. One love. Thanks for spending your time with me, man. You know that shit's appreciated. Smash that like button, bang the subscriptions. If y'all seen, man, we growing and we on fire right now, and I appreciate every last one of y'all. And I mean that shit from my heart too. There ain't no motherfucking faking, ain't no capping, no flogging, none of that. I mean it from my heart, man, because I found family in the black family. You know what I'm saying? I found love in the black community. I found unity in the black community. And I found a purpose inside the black community. Outside of us, fuck them. And I say that proudly. 2 middle fingers up. If you ain't down with this certified B1 FBA, I don't know you. Simple as that, loud and clear. So I salute y'all, I appreciate y'all. Y'all give me fuel to the fire and fire to the flame. And now we on they ass, B1 style. But yo, let's talk about this Kyle Rittenhouse case. And let's talk about the Ahmaud Arbery case. Both of these fiascos are going on simultaneously, and simultaneously, we gonna give them that motherfucking work and run their ass off the block like we do. People gotta understand, need to, that supremacy runs in different factions, different sectors, different groups, different areas. It's a well-oiled machine all over. Each group has a job to do, each person has their own mission, and it functions precisely. And motherfuckers got to know that. See, for years, black folks was running around here getting pushed onto defund the police. Defund the police, and they was focusing on the police. And I was saying this shit loud and clear. I said it ain't just the police, because you got to remember, the police's job is just to detain you, to put your ass in handcuffs and take you to prison. But after prison, what happens? Your ass get a court date. Then you go in front of a judge. Then you go in front of a jury. And that's when they take black people's lives away, because now they can do that shit legally. See, when a police officer harms a black person, cameras and all these inspections and black society stands up and we ride and we march, and there's a big focus on that. Who's focusing on that courtroom at 12 o'clock every fucking day? Go to the courtroom. I remember a judge, a W judge. He said, if you ever go to any courtroom in America, I don't give a fuck where it is. Go right now. Go tomorrow. Shit, if you don't feel me, go tomorrow. Go to your local courthouse tomorrow at 12 o'clock. That shit's gonna look like a slave auction. You're gonna see brothers and sisters lined up. We're gonna be overrepresented there more than any place. And they're gonna walk right inside of that goddamn courtroom. The judge ain't gonna wanna hear any motherfucking thing they say. They're gonna give them some bullshit plea deal, which we're gonna get to in a minute. And they're gonna take that black person, man, woman, and child, and throw their life away. Nobody, hear me loud and clear, nobody breaks up a black family or throws away a black person's life more than a judge or a jury in the United States. Judge, juries take away more black people than any police brutality. All right. Now, police brutality happens to us. We need to highlight that. We need to put the light on that. And quite frankly, we already have. But motherfuckers is out here chasing after these race soldier police. You need to be out here chasing after these race soldier judges, because these motherfuckers do it in silence with a cloak on. And they got the nerve to tell you, call me your honor. What are you doing? Sit down. We all know stories of black people getting treated like shit in that courtroom. Matter of fact, the courthouse is the biggest supremacist stronghold in the country, even more than the police department. First off, black folks are nowhere near represented in the courthouse at all. You're not going to see too many black jurors. You're not going to see too many black lawyers. You're not going to see too many black judges. And even if you do see them, they are all under the control of the supremacist system. Now, when you start dealing with a black cop, you might see one here, there, over there, every now and often. And a lot of times they be showing out. We ain't stunting on them. But like I said, we got our eyes on them. But what happens when you go in the courtroom? How you going to check that? How you going to check that? You have your cameras out here in the street. Put your cameras out. Body cams. Does the judge got a body cam? Have y'all ever seen a judge with a body cam on so you can see his decisions? Do the jurors got body cams? Or do they all go to the back room and make decisions in secrecy? And then come out and say, 25 to life for Shanita. 25 to life for Jerome. Oh, and Billy and Bob and Sally, oh, y'all can all go free. And that's what's happening right now with the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. And it's the same thing that's going on with our brother, Ahmaud Arbery, down in Brunswick, Georgia. It's the same exact thing. Same exact thing. These decisions are made in the dark when it comes to the judge, when it comes to the juror, when it comes to these lawyers. Half the time, a lot of people don't know, and y'all know this because B1s be on it. A lot of people don't even know that the prosecution and the defense work together. What the fuck you think? Go to a courtroom and see these motherfuckers hanging out. They be having lunch together and having drinks. If you go see these motherfuckers right now at lunchtime, the prosecutor and the defense go home. In the courtroom, they do all that back and forth shit. And with black folks, they're just pretending. Especially when you start dealing with us. When you deal with us, goddamn right, they're on the same team. It's the same as the Republicans and the Democrats, the liberal and the conservatives, is the prosecutor and the defense. One person plays to be on the black person's side, the other person plays against the black person. In reality, they're brothers and sisters. They're race brothers. Go check out my Race Brothers episode. And I'll show you and we'll detail how every time black folks think there's the goods W's and the bads W's, you find out that they're both W's. And they ain't on your motherfucking team. They're really friends, and they have to play that good cop, bad cop shit to give you the image that you actually have a choice or that you have a decision. Remember, supremacy is all based on image and optics. All based on it. They have to make black folks think that there's a good one of them and a bad one of them so we can jump to each plantation. In reality, they got you right where they want you. If Master Plantation Bob got you jumping to Master Plantation Bill, ain't your ass still jumping back and forth to a plantation? Exactly. And that's what happens with the prosecutor and the defense. These motherfuckers are good friends. Good friends. I know lawyers personally, and they all consider themselves one big fraternity. They cool with the judge. The judge, the jury, the prosecution, and the defense are all friends. They're all friends. Nobody gives a shit about no black person. They all know in that system, the black person has to be played. Let me say this. It does not get to the point where black people are getting these sentences. Black people are getting their life thrown away. Black folks are getting railroaded and getting these harsh penalties that our families never recover from. It does not get like this unless the prosecution, the defense, the judge, and the jury are all working together. And I want all y'all right now, tell me what's the denominator between all of them mostly. You know what I'm talking about. It's a letter in the alphabet that's between V and X. That's what it is. So none of this shit ever occurs unless you have a well-oiled system. We got to quit thinking that these systems are based on our friends and our enemies. No, they're all our enemies. Did it ever occur to black folks for 1 second that maybe they like each other more than they like your ass? This is how it happens. I mean, think about this on a real deep level. How the fuck can black people go to jail the most if our attorneys are doing such a good job for us? How the fuck can black people get the highest sentences if our attorneys are doing such a good job for us? How the fuck can black kids go to prison more than any other child on the planet if our attorneys are doing such a good job for us? How the fuck can black people get higher sentences for the same exact crime if our attorneys are doing such a good job for us? That only proves one thing, is that our attorneys on purpose are throwing our cases away. Y'all remember during the Trayvon Martin situation? Remember that? They straight up said it. Trayvon Martin, them motherfuckers just, who gives a shit? They didn't give a fuck about winning that case. Because if it comes down to defending a black person or losing a case, they'd rather lose the case. Straight up. Because when you lose a case for a black person, you're held up high in the system of supremacy. You can walk through the motherfucking hallways, they be high-fiving you. The same motherfucker that was in the courtroom saying, "Court adjourned! Court adjourned, sit down!" All them motherfuckers right there, they are high-fiving you if you purposely lose a case for black people. I mean, look at black celebrities. Money can't even get you. Michael Vick, Bill Cosby, these are black people with millions of dollars, and their attorneys be throwing the cases away. But yet you got motherfuckers like George Zimmerman. You be seeing these low-budget, dusty motherfuckers that be beating these $1 million lawyers. When the color flip, George Zimmerman and all these motherfuckers be getting away with it, but Bill Cosby can't. George Zimmerman is out here beating cases, but Michael Vick can't. Black millionaires tend to not ever be able to get good lawyers. But people from other groups can be broke and still somehow win cases. That means their attorneys are working for them and our attorneys are working against us. Same play over and over. They don't care because maintaining their position in supremacy is far more valuable. But even bigger than that, check this out. Family, I'm about to drop a motherfucking race receipt. Feel me now. The average black person in the court system cannot afford a high-file attorney. So what do they get assigned with? A public defender. Can I tell y'all, for those who don't know and those who already know, feel me, what is another term for a public defender? They're also known as public pretenders. Yes, a public pretender. So we just said that black folks in the court system get a bunch of attorneys who pretend to have their best interests, who pretend to defend them, who pretend to try to look out for them. And then we come to find out that the attorneys who get assigned to black cases the most are also called public pretenders. Boy, Supremacy got a way of putting shit right in front of you if you're looking. They'll put symbols all in front of your motherfucking eyeballs if you're looking. Yes, black people normally get public pretenders. This is what they also go by. And everyone knows this shit. You feel me? A public pretender is basically somebody who is paid to pretend like he's doing something for black people and really be throwing the case away. That's why they never get fired. Black folks are the only motherfuckers on the planet who get attorneys who never win. If you never win, why do you keep getting hired? If you never win, how do you keep getting jobs? No one fires you. Imagine your ass playing in the NBA and you never win. You're getting fired. Imagine your ass playing in the NFL, you never win, you get fired. Be a boxer, you never win a match, your promoter's gonna cut you. Only in the court system can motherfuckers work for black folks, always lose, and keep getting jobs. Look at the Ben Crump and the other guy. What they said, 48 million black folks and we only got 2 lawyers who never win? If anybody can show me a picture of Ben Crump in the courtroom, I'll pay you. Cause that motherfucker ain't never in the courtroom. Never, ever, ever. With any other group in any other society, if your ass is losing cases, you never get a job. They would tell you, quit being a lawyer. What law school did you go to? You ain't no attorney, you need to quit. With black folks, they say, keep coming on, come on. So this is where we are with the court system in America. We literally have people who are designed to go against us. The same way we have politicians who are designed to work against us. The same way we have celebrities who are designed to go against us. Fake leaders, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Tamika Mallory, Sean, whatever dude's name is. He ain't even black anyway. But how we have people who pretend to be down for black causes, but they work against black people. It's the same thing in the court system. We have people who are not there for us. They pretend. A public defender is a public pretender, and they're always assigned to black people. This is what the court system is. That's why I said everybody has a mission. Remember in the beginning, in Supremacy, everybody has a job to do. They literally have a group of attorneys on retainer that are meant to throw away black cases. They're the ones who get assigned to black cases 90% as a public pretender. They literally have a job. They are on payroll just to throw away black cases, just to humbug black folks, just to railroad them and send them to jail. That's what supremacy is. So while everybody's running around here talking about defund the police, you're best to be focusing on that courtroom. Because like I said right here on the Black Alpha Network, nobody throws away black lives more than the court system in the United States of America. That is how it is designed. Designed to the point that they literally have attorneys that get paid to throw away our cases. Ain't that a bitch? And that's the state of affairs right here in the USA. Right here in the USA. They all work in conjunction. And once you get in that courtroom, your ass is theirs. You belong to them. And they can do anything they please. Because ain't nobody reforming the court system. Everybody talk about reforming the police, reforming the prison system. Who's reforming the court system? Because they are the ones that make the decisions. Only when it comes to this can a motherfucker overlook the people making the decisions. Everybody want to talk about the police. Everybody want to talk about the prison system. Fine, cool, focus on that. But at the end of the day, the police do what? They turn your ass into the court system. And what does the court system do? The court system sends your ass to jail. Who is the medium in between both of those? The judge, the jury, the prosecutor, the defense, the attorneys, the public pretenders. These are the motherfuckers we need to be focusing on. Because this is what happens to black folks. Look at our women. Black women are the fastest growing prison population in this country. Why? It's because they're going in front of these judges. They're dealing with these supremacist juries, getting assigned public pretenders who are not there for their well-being, pretends to you, acts like they're there to help you. Oh, we're going to get this case solved. We're going to do this for you, da-da-da-da. Don't ever answer your phone calls. Can't ever give you straight answers. Dodge your questions. You could tell dealing with these motherfuckers within 2 seconds, they're not there for you. They're not there for you. This is what occurs. And then what ends up happening? Our sisters are going straight to jail. It's the same thing that happens with our youth. And it's been happening to our black men. Our black men, it has been very, very known. It has been very, very publicized what goes on with black men. Well, let me tell the world, this has been going on with our sisters, particularly in the last 10 years. And it's been going on with our youth for years, for ages. Black men, black women, and black children go to jail at the highest rates. And here's the pattern that you see. That black man, black woman, and black child, they get the highest sentences, the longest sentences, and the harshest penalties for crimes that they commit the least. Let me say that one more time. Black people commit the least amount of crimes, but get the harshest penalties for those crimes. That's like a motherfucker going to work the least and getting paid the most. Your ass go to work on Monday, and you make more money than the motherfucker who went there from Monday to Friday. This ain't how this shit's supposed to work. And it only works that way if you're dealing with the judge, the jury, and the supremacists. Because they all have a motherfucking job to do, and it all works as one big oiled machine. It does not get this way. And you don't see these type of numbers unless this shit is being done on purpose. So we can focus on all these other motherfucking groups, but you're best to start focusing on that goddamn courtroom. Because that courtroom is the slave plantation. That courtroom, they tie brothers to the whipping post every goddamn day. They're doing it today. As you listening to this right now, across this country, all 50 states, brothers and sisters and children are having their lives played with, thrown away by some motherfuckers who don't care. A judge who don't give a fuck what you got to say. A jury who don't give a fuck what you got to say. And by a public pretender who is going to lie to you and make it seem like he's there for you, but he's really going to sell your ass out and send you to prison and take you away from your family. And then he's going to go have some coffee with the judge during admission. That's the way this shit operates. I'm talking about from the police station to the courthouse to the prison yard. They're all race brothers and they all work together. And that together just so happens to be on the opposite side of black prosperity. And it does happen to be on the same side of anti-black racism all the way across the board. And the sad part about all this is this shit's on the books. This shit is on the books. This ain't no hidden secret. All the stats and all the data and all the numbers are there, clear. Matter of fact, you've even had Barack Obama and Eric Holder, they sat there and talked about it. All public officials and politicians talk about it. When they talk about prison reform and all that shit, they're basically saying this is anti-black without saying it. Because remember, they all talk in ambiguous, abstract terms. They want to say it without saying it. And really, they don't want to say it. They're only being forced to say it because we ask those questions and we put pressure on them. Because had we not asked the questions, they wouldn't say shit. They wouldn't say nothing. But I sat there and seen Barack Obama. I seen him sit there and say, we obviously have problems and disparities in the prison system. That means we have disparities in the courtroom. That means we have them with the judge. That means we have them with the lawyers. But you ain't gonna say that though. You're gonna tap dance all around that shit because you're scared. If you're scared to say you're scared. Eric Holder, he was the attorney general and he said it on TV. Anytime they use the term disparities, basically what they're saying is there's anti-black racism. That is just another term for saying black folks is being targeted. Black folks are being unjustly served and black folks are being attacked. That's just another way. And here's the thing. I don't need you to use little play words like disparities. The same way you say disenfranchised and all these other talk around fucking terms. Because when it comes to other groups, you don't use talk around terms. You don't use play words. You get straight to the nitty gritty. You call their problems out by name. When it comes to us, they do these little duck and dodge words. A disparity. Man, get the fuck out of here. How the fuck did it become a disparity? What ideology, what thought process, and what anti-black racism made it that way? And who is the motherfucker in charge of all this? If you talk about disparities in this motherfucking system, then who's in charge of the system? Could it be the judge? Could it be the juror? Could it be the prosecutor, the defense? Because we all know they work together. We all know they having coffee. We all know they hanging out. And we all know they anti-black. We all know that black men are 19.1% likely to get higher sentences than another man. We all know that shit. We all know that black men are 21.2% less likely to get any type of government assistance or government pardons. We all know that. And the same goes for our women. The same goes for our children. It's the same exact thing. And it's like clockwork. Oh shit, we got receipts over here at the Black Alpha Network. Oh yeah, receipts in bold print. We got all the statistics and all the stats in this motherfucker. Thorough. Motherfucker background check that shit and it's gonna come back straight. I tell you every time. We all know when it comes to race disparities, in terms of extreme sentences, black men in America are 2,272. The nearest other man is 1,018. Y'all see that gap? Let's go to our women. When it comes to extreme sentences, our women are at 88. The next nearest woman is at 65, and the one after that is at 49. You see that gap? That's a gap between black men and black women. One thing that we got in common is that these motherfuckers target us all. It don't matter who, it don't matter where, and it don't matter when. They come after all of us. That's why we all stay strong, and that's why we all stick together. Now, let's look at something nobody ever wants to talk about. This is some shit the motherfuckers jump over, skip over, hop over, spin over, but it remains untalked about. But we gonna talk about that shit right here on the Black Alpha Network because we the most thorough, and we get to the shit motherfuckers is scared to talk about. We say the things that motherfuckers is scared to say, but we say the shit that all the real ones represent. So I salute y'all, and bang that notification, bang that like button, and smash them subscriptions. I appreciate it. Let's keep this motherfucker trucking. Let's talk about something that affects a lot of black people, especially when you got motherfuckers like Jim Crow Joe running around here writing crime bills. But we're going to get to that in a minute. Let's talk about the race disparities in black people in terms of homelessness, unemployment, and poverty after release. See, a lot of black people go to prison, they get locked up, they get taken away from their families, and they don't come home to much. They don't come home to much. When you're away, the world stays moving. The world stays moving around the black person when you're free. So imagine being a black person that's locked away from their family. And when you come home, what you coming home to? What you got? You're not like these other groups that come home to all this income and wealth. You're coming home to the struggle. The same motherfucking struggle that put you in that motherfucker is the same struggle you're coming home to. But the only difference is now they done marked you. They done marked you. A black person cannot get a damn job equally when you're free. It is known scientifically through sociology that black people who have college degrees get less opportunities than the dominant society with high school diplomas. And on top of that, a black man or a black woman who have a clean slate, have never been arrested, never been to jail, never been to fucking juvenile hall. A black person who's never been to jail gets less job opportunities than someone from the dominant society who has been to jail. Think about that. You could be a black person and ain't ever been to a prison, but you're gonna get passed up by someone else who lived in fucking prison. Their convicts get more job opportunities than our model citizens. That shows you that when that boss or whoever's hiring motherfuckers, whenever they see a black person's record, never been to jail. Nah, we don't want him. Oh, Bob? Oh, been to prison for 10 years? Oh, okay, call him in for an interview. That is known. All this shit is out there. This ain't no motherfucking hidden facts. This ain't no shit they done slid under. It's clear as day. They'll admit to you this shit if you're looking. It is also known that black people are denied business loans and home loans more than any other group. Even when we check out and we have the cleanest record. A black person can have the best credit score, every single thing could be done the correct way, and you still get denied access. That is called the system of supremacy, and we are all subjected to it. So imagine living in this type of society that we all know. We can all walk out our motherfucking door, like right here, my house right here. Okay, I can walk out this motherfucking door, and I'm gonna walk right out into this system of supremacy and see every goddamn thing that we're talking about right now. So imagine being a black person who comes home from a prison system that has already targeted you, that has already marked you, and has already came after you. What do you got? So we're going to talk about something that no one ever talks about, but we're going to show love, but we're going to break this shit down the Black Alpha way. Oh, I'm dropping it today. Hey, I'm preaching. The motherfucking black soul is all in me. Shit, it's in me 24/7, 365. But right now, that motherfucker booming. So let's get this shit right. Let's talk about it on a real level, okay? Rock with me, B1s. Let's talk about the racial disparities in homelessness, unemployment, and poverty for black Americans, all right? When it comes to unemployment, black men and black women represent 8 and 6% of unemployment, okay, individually. But 44% of unemployed, poverty-stricken, or homeless people are black women who are formerly incarcerated, all right? 35% of unemployed, homeless, or poverty-stricken people are black men who were formerly incarcerated. So like Fred Hampton said, in clear-cut proletarian workers' language, 44% of poverty-stricken, unemployed, homeless people are black women who were formerly incarcerated. And 35% of homeless, unemployed, poverty-stricken men are black men. That shows you a system that is chewing you up, spitting you out, and then stomping on you. So are you really ever free? Fuck no. And the same thing goes on with our children. The same exact thing. They got this little shit called critical fake theory, and I'm gonna get to that. Y'all check out my episode on that because I'm gonna blaze that shit. A lot of black folks is running around here saying, man, we need to keep teaching race in school. Newsflash, they ain't never started teaching race in school. That's bullshit. I'll tell you what they do in school. In school, they lock our motherfucking kids up, they suspend them, and they target them. Black kids are targeted in the school system the same way we are targeted in the court system. As a matter of fact, all the school system is a training ground for the eventual targeting of black people to when they go into the public sector. All those statistics I just gave you about black men and women being targeted in the court system, that's all the school system is doing. Only difference is they're not training our kids to have to deal with that shit. They're training their kids on how to apply it to our kids in the future. Straight up and down. Let's look at a lot of similarities between the school system, the court system. Let's look at a lot of similarities between society and schools. What do they tell you all the time? We got to send these kids to school to be socialized. Well, last time I checked, this society is anti-black. So if they're admitting that kids got to go to school to be socialized, then what society are these kids being socialized to be in, to be citizens of, to be participants in? I'll tell you what it is. It's an anti-black society. So that same way that a brother or sister is being targeted as an adult is the same way that child is being targeted as a youth. And y'all know this because all of us have the same racial stories from the school system that we have in real life today. All you did was deal with that shit when you was watching cartoons and deal with that shit when you quit watching cartoons. And if you still watch cartoons, that means that shit been happening to you your whole life. Either motherfucking way. But check this out. Oh, we gonna bust this down. Black Alpha Network, certified Black Society B1. I said what I said. Let's do this. Let's look at some of the similarities between school and society. And you're gonna see the anti-black racism, you're gonna see the targeting, and you're gonna see the same shit that goes on with the judge, the jury, and the supremacists. And you're gonna see the same shit that go on in the adult world is the same thing that goes on in the non-adult world. And you're gonna see that this is nothing more than a training ground for how to teach the dominant society's kids how to target and to incarcerate our kids in the future. Check it out. I'll give you some motherfucking examples. You know, we get real on this. A black adult is driving down the street or driving their car, and out of nowhere, here comes a race soldier, pulls you over, snatches you out the car, Rodney Kings you, beats you, and punishes you. That's what happens to an adult. Well, that sounds a lot like a black kid is minding their business, walking through the high school hallway, the elementary school hallway, the middle school hallway, and out of nowhere, here comes a teacher. Here comes a hall monitor. Shit, we've even seen videos where you got big ass school security guards slamming kids in the classroom. In the classroom. So if a black person is getting harmed minding their business in the adult world, and then you see our youth are getting harmed minding their business in the school world, that's the same thing. Got another one for you. Black adult gets snatched up and sent to court to await the judge. Black kid gets snatched up and sent to the principal's office to await the principal. Got one more for you. Black person gets snatched up and sent to solitary confinement. Can't see, can't speak, can't communicate with anybody. Black kid gets sent to in-school suspension. Can't see, can't speak, can't communicate with anybody. I know about in-school suspension. I used to go that motherfucker. I ain't give a fuck though. I bring some motherfucking Doritos and some goddamn pop and I be in that bitch chilling. I look good. I don't want to see the teacher any motherfucking way. Shit, can I stay here? Shit, I was volunteering to go to that motherfucker. Shit, fuck these people. That's how I was Black Alpha 6. But that's the same thing. You see the scenarios, you see the same similarities in between each and every case. So whenever you see the same pattern over and over and over, that shit is done on purpose. And this is all done on purpose. That's why we call it the preschool to prison pipeline. A motherfucker didn't just wake up one morning and say, we're gonna call it that for fun. We call it that because we see kids come with the same exact stories that adults have to deal with, and it's the same exact stories that the adults dealt with when we were their age. And it keeps going and going. 50 years from now, young kids who ain't even born yet gonna be having the same fucking experiences. Because this is the system that plays itself over and over again. I got another one for you while I'm bullshitting. I just thought about this shit while I'm speaking. I got another one. What ends up happening to a black person? Your ass goes in front of the courtroom, awaits that judge, and you got to sit in front of a jury that are all members of the dominant society and they do not look like you. They ain't your peers. It's supposed to be some of your peers. Fuck no. You got to sit there in front of a jury that does not look like you. They are all in the dominant society. Ain't that the same thing in school when you got to go to a parent-teacher conference or you got to go to the principal's office, you got to have a fucking meeting and you sit there with a bunch of people all from the dominant society who do not look like you and they pass judgment and they hold your fate in their hand. The jury says guilty, 25 to life. The teachers say guilty, expel them. As a matter of fact, remember how I gave you all those statistics about the inequalities in the court system? In the prison system, and how black people face the biggest crimes and the harshest sentencings for things that we do the least? You can make and display the same exact statistics in the school system, and it still disproportionately affects black folks. In the adult motherfucking world, black folks are disproportionately affected by the bullshit, and then kids who are black are disproportionately affected by the bullshit, and the statistics show it. Check this out. 70% of students involved in school-related arrests or referred to law enforcement were black kids. All right. It also tells you that black students who only make up 18% of people enrolled in schools, they accounted for 35% of those suspended once, 46% of those suspended more than once, and 39% of all expulsions. Get the fuck out of here. Black students were 3.5 times more likely to be suspended and expelled than the dominant society peers. So that goes to show you that the dominant society is a little more anti-black than they lead to put on. And all those coons out there who say it ain't about race and try to make excuses for it, and they don't want this to be known, you see a direct targeting of black folks in the school system. So they may act like they don't do this, W's. And they may talk that bullshit, W's. But we all motherfucking know what goes on. And we call that shit the fuck out. And we cash race receipts because we some motherfucking race regulators. Mount up. Now that leads us all the way back around. Y'all know I don't give a fuck. I'm crazy. Straight up. Black to the motherfucking core. All day. But that leads us to this Kyle Rittenhouse or whatever the fuck his name is, and the whole situation going on with that, and the same situation that's going on with our brother Ahmaud Arbery. It's the same exact thing. That same court system is trying to play this together. And there's no coincidence that these two cases have been brought on at the same time so they can distract us. Because really they want to distract us off the Ahmaud Arbery situation, because that's no case. That's not a case. That should be, that happened, video, go to jail. That shouldn't be no motherfucking case. I know brothers who are falsely accused, who go to trial and the trial lasts about 15 minutes and then the jury comes back unanimously that the brother's guilty and he was falsely accused. But yet you got these motherfucking supremacist race soldiers who are doing shit heinously on camera, and they'll have these big lengthy fucking trials and it'll turn into a big fucking discussion and a debate, and then the motherfuckers will come back innocent. This is what happens because supremacy loves to make a debate out of something that's not debatable. They'll have you in this motherfucker discussing things all the time. They know when to put a question mark at the end of something, and then they know when to put an exclamation point at the end of something. And anytime it's something that they do wrong or they're spotlighted, they'll say, what is it? We don't know yet. We're not sure. Y'all remember all that shit? Every case that ever happened that's on camera, they do this. We don't know yet. We'll find out the facts. Let the facts come out. Motherfucker, the facts are out. And the shit's on camera and we've all seen it. But they'll get you caught in this debate. And that's what's going on with this Kyle, whatever the fuck his name is. I mean, you can literally look. It's clear as day. The motherfucker broke like 15 laws, but yet they got you debating. Did he really break them? That's the same thing that happened with the Ahmaud Arbery case. They trying to make this shit some debate. Motherfuckers can plead whatever, because the longer they can plead this shit and make it a lengthy trial, the more they got you debating something that ain't debatable. That's why I tell people all the time, don't even debate the motherfucker. Tell them what it is. You feel me? And that's what they're trying to do. I mean, look at the fucking judge. The judge is like this motherfucker Supremacist Grandpa. The judge has more smoke for the prosecution than he has for the actual criminal. He's getting mad. What did you say? Well, hold on. Say that again. Say it again. I mean, this motherfucker tripping. That motherfucker look like he done OD'd off of Viagra. You know what I'm saying? He is tripping like a motherfucker, because what he really is on code, and he's trying to protect that guy. And we all know no matter what happens, this guy is going to be sentenced to a maximum penalty of a supremacist slap on the wrist. And they can plead self-defense in any situation. We cannot. We can literally be surrounded by a bunch of goddamn werewolves, and they'll be like, self-defense plea denied. We could be getting chased down by Michael Myers, 4 werewolves, and Freddy Krueger, and they'll still deny our shit. These motherfuckers can plead self-defense when they're the only one with a weapon, when they're on camera using that weapon, when they're going against a defenseless person, and they can use self-defense when they harm a child. A big grown-ass adult can plead self-defense if he was going after a child. This is how the system works against us and works for them. See, what they used to do, they used to just let motherfuckers go. And then motherfuckers got hip to that. And now what they do is they'll charge you with something, but it'll be something that you can plea out, something that they can bring down. And quietly, when society moves on to the next race case, because there'll be another one, then that person who did it will walk right out. And about 10 years from now, you see these motherfuckers on a vacation, probably do some special, get some money. They already raise money anyway. They got GoFundMe's and getting $50,000, $500,000. 5 years from now, after they get their little slap on the wrist, they'll be living their best life, because they get to plea out. Criminals in the dominant society get to plea out. Black folks, you get to plea out for things you did not do. That's another thing about the public pretender that we spoke about. The plea bargain for the dominant society is a means of letting someone guilty off the hook. The plea bargain for black people is means to take an innocent black person and send them to jail. A black person will be falsely accused of something, or he'll be overly sentenced, and they'll come to him with a plea bargain and say, hey, I know you stole some bubble gum, or you took a piece of bread, but you're facing 25 to life. But you could plea out right now for 10 to 15. And black people knowing that if you go in front of that supremacist judge or that supremacist jury, you're going to do 25 to life. So black folks say, okay, I'll do 10. It's a sneaky trick way. And by the way, the public pretender that we speak about, he facilitates all this. So when he's not throwing cases away on purpose, he's also tricking you and setting you up for the trap of taking a plea bargain. This is what happens to brothers and sisters in the system. And this is the same system that is catering to that, whatever dude's name. This motherfucker was crying. He had his arm up. He was trying, and then he stops for a minute. Motherfucker chew bubble gum. Like, hey, how's it going? Everything's fine. All right. Oh, crying again. Oh, and then he ran after me. And the judge is sitting there, goddamn, look like he about to go wipe his tears and shit and go give him a goddamn kiss. I mean, this shit is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But that's a supremacist courtroom, a supremacist grandpa, and they got them games playing.
I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski, and there were...
Here come the bullshit.
There were...
This motherfucker acting. This shit ain't even good acting.
There were 3 people right there.
Right there. Man, turn this shit off. Listen, this motherfucker ain't even got a tear in his eyes. Supremacy 101 is to cry with no tears. That's that same shit Amber Geiger did. They make these ugly motherfucking faces. You know what I mean? Look like they about to pass the fuck out. No tears come out. And motherfuckers be looking at him like, are you serious? The goddamn prosecutor's looking at him like, man, get the fuck out of here. Will you hurry up? That's how pathetic it is. You know, and when you watch the news said, tears today. What tears? The news are trying to play him like he's some little innocent kid. Tears today on the stand. The young man broke down crying because, you know, he got to be a young man. He got to be a kid. When it comes to Tamir Rice, he got to be a grown-ass adult. But when it comes to this guy, who's the criminal, he could be a kid. The news is talking about how he broke down today, how he cried today, how he was upset and emotional today. And I said, okay, he did all that with no tears? Listen to the judge.
Why would you think that that made it okay for you, without any advance notice, to bring this matter before the jury? I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that. And it gives, I'll leave it at that. So I don't know what you're up to.
May I respond?
Yes.
Again, listen to him, getting big mad.
Correctly points out that just hours ago, I said I had heard nothing in this trial to change any of my rulings. So why?
Testimony, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
That was before the
Don't
defense
get
testimony.
brazen with me. You knew very well. You know very well that an attorney can't go into these types of areas when the judge has already ruled without asking outside the presence of the jury to do so. So don't give me that. That's number.
Listen to him. He's talking to the prosecutor, the guy who's trying to get a known criminal to go to jail. The judge is fighting him. You would think by listening to that, he'd be talking about the person defending the criminal. He's talking like that to the person who's trying to send the criminal to jail. Why? Is because when you're on supremacist code, rules go out the window. That judge's only thing is to let that criminal off the hook. That is it. To protect his W grandson. That's it. Supremacist grandpa, supremacist grandson. And it's all in the family. It's a family affair. I know a lot of black folks say, man, we shouldn't care about that situation. And no matter how you feel about the situation, if you care about it or not, but this is the way the system goes. And they're trying to protect supremacy. So if that guy does that and gets punished, then whenever they do something on us, motherfuckers are going to think that he should get punished. So really what they're doing is setting a precedence that it should not occur. And the main thing is that this dude was at a pro-black rally in Kenosha. That's the main thing. Because had he not been there, we wouldn't even hear this shit and it'd be right out in the news. You did. And it goes back to our brother Ahmaud Arbery. And we got to keep our eyes on that because they're trying to distract us with all those theatrics or that other bullshit. They're trying to distract us to take our eyes off of that situation, which is a clear-cut situation, which is a billion times worse. And this is one of the worst cases that you've seen on camera. You know what I mean? And they trying to flip that and run that around. Jesse Jackson done showed up on his walker and fucking Al Sharpton and all that bullshit. Matter of fact, look at that situation. They're only allowing one juror out of 11 jurors, 12 jurors, they're only allowing one to be black because the jury is the most anti-black. because that is a collection of what's supposed to be your peers, but in reality, that's a collection of a bunch of race soldiers. The same race soldier you see at the corner store, the same race soldier who said all lives matter, that's the same motherfucker who's on the jury. The judge, the jury, and the supremacist. And that's what they're trying to do with our brother Ahmaud Arbery's case, so we gotta focus on that. But between those two cases, I mean, you see the same shenanigans over and over and over. They just said, a motherfucker the other day said, I don't feel pastors should be here. He made a thing to say pastors shouldn't be here. He said, why is Jesse Jackson here? And why is Al Sharpton here? He talked this shit to the judge, and the judge listened. Now, you know damn well the judge wouldn't listen to any other motherfucking group saying that. But the motherfucker said, don't let Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton be there. He said this shit. Really, he don't want the cameras there. That's what he really doesn't want. And he's allowed to make that plea. He's allowed to make that plea. And then the judge, and it's nothing, the judges always play dumb, like they don't have power, like they can't fix something. In the Ahmaud Arbery case, they were talking about discrimination and how you can't say discrimination. You can't use the term discrimination. You know what I mean? He's, I know that's wrong, but I can't stop it. Yeah, you could. Because if that was a brother who was accused, you'd make sure that you'd fix and straighten that shit out. They know this. Just like up in the other fucking trial, you can't use the term victim for the victims. This is how this shit go. This is how this shit play. And we see this every single day. But we used to it and we regulate that shit. Y'all feel me? But yo, keep your eyes on both of these situations. It was good chopping it up with y'all. We gonna get right back at it. I'm gonna break down critical fake theory and a bunch more shit. Check out all the other videos, in-laws, blackface Democrats, everything we got. We gonna keep this shit coming and we gonna stay real, represent certified black society. But above all that, let me take it back to the first thing I told y'all. I hope y'all standing in a good space. I hope all your loved ones is good. I hope y'all all good in this struggle. Do not forget to take care of each other. Take care of yourself because you are the most important, because without you, we don't have anything. You feel me? But yo, this Black Alpha 6, man, I salute y'all. Salute the whole team, the whole family. B1 Society for life. If it ain't about us, then it ain't nothing. Y'all stay GOOD good because black is beautiful and beautiful is black.